everyone, and welcome to a Pete's Basement special report.
Report.
How did I do? Can I be a newscaster?
Very Hugh Downs. Yeah.
What's up, everybody? I know we said last week was going to be our last episode for the year, but, you know, we can't not talk about the Fox and Disney deal, obviously. We first mentioned this in 2015. Mm-hmm. Our original post, which I now have on Instagram, posted 2015, I believe it was July.
It might have been before that.
There was, in fact, there's video of it. If you go back to one of those episodes, which I'm going to try to do and edit this into the YouTube clip. So if it is here, it's going to pop up right now. Let me fill you in on this little tidbit of information. Apparently, Disney is working on a multi-billion-dollar offer to outright purchase all of Marvel properties back from Fox. This has placed a hold on the previous agreement between Fox and Marvel Studios, except for the mutant TV shows that the two are currently being produced, that the two are producing together.
Right, which is Legion and...
Disney wants their characters back. Yeah. And we also mentioned that Disney was going to buy Fox back in September. Now, when did the public hear about this deal? November or so? So, guys, what am I trying to tell you? But always stay tuned to Pete's Basement for all the news before it's news, because our source, the Shadow, knows. And only the Shadow knows. And he tells us, so we know. So we know too, and we can tell you guys. It was an absolutely fantastic day. This was announced before the Wall Street tycoons got a chance to start trading shares. So this way, the deal gets announced, and then Fox and Disney shares can just skyrocket through the roof. $52 billion, a lot of zeros, man.
Crazy, I know.
Now, this deal started 2 years ago, as far as we're concerned. When we first heard about the possibility of a Disney or Marvel, Fox, it wasn't a merger then. It was just they were going to work things out much in the same way that Marvel had done with Sony. They were going to just put aside the differences and try to, squash whatever beef that they had, and let's get things going, because there's a lot of money to be made by putting the X-Men in the MCU and the Fantastic Four, and they knew this. Problem was, it just didn't work. Executives probably screamed at each other. Lawyers were pulling their hair out. What wasn't falling out on its own from all the stress. If you think that a multi-billion-dollar deal like just went down started a few weeks ago when the public first heard about it, anybody that has actually tried to, get a promotion or claw their way to middle management in any kind of corporation knows how slowly the wheels turn.
Years and years and years.
Fucking way too long. I'm just going to say that. So, the fact of the matter is, this deal took a long time coming. It probably went through many different iterations of, does this work for you? Nope. How about this? Nope, that don't work for us. Back and forth, until Disney finally said, let's just buy them. We can afford it. This all came down from, they wanted to first buy Netflix because they wanted to do a streaming service. Netflix wouldn't play ball. They wanted like $90 billion.
Fucking crazy.
So we're like, all right, so what if we just go buy Fox and build our own? So now, what does Disney get with this deal? First and foremost, let me assure everybody, we all know the X-Men are coming along.
Right.
The Fantastic Four are, in fact, part of this deal. Bob Iger said it himself in the first press release. Said, combining with Disney at 21st Century Fox's critically acclaimed film production business, including 20th Century Fox, Fox Searchlight Pictures, and Fox 2000, which together offer diverse and compelling storytelling business and are the homes of Avatar, X-Men, Fantastic Four, and Deadpool. The agreement also provides Disney with the opportunity to reunite the X-Men, Fantastic Four, and Deadpool with the Marvel family under one roof and create richer, more complex worlds of interrelated characters and stories that audiences have shown they love. That's his press release, and the rest of all of this in front of me is the rest of the press release from BusinessWire.com. The problem that arose with the Fantastic Four was because Fox, not a lot of people knew this, they figured Fox just owned the rights like they did with X-Men.
Right.
Not the case. With the Fantastic Four, because remember that short-lived 1994 Roger Corman film that never actually saw the light of day? That was created by a German film company called Constantine Films. Right. Nothing to do with Hellblazer or anything.
Right, yeah.
So they only contracted Fox for the distribution rights of the movie. So that's why people were like, well, nope, Fantastic Four is not coming. They're not buying Constantine films. No, they didn't buy them, but they did buy out the rights. Because, simply put, Disney was not spending $52.4 billion. That's a lot of zeros, guys. A lot of zeros. They were not going to spend this much money if they weren't going to do it right the first time. It's that simple. They bought the rights from them. God knows how much that little rinky-dink company made, because even if they didn't, even if, let's say, they didn't want to play ball, the fact of the matter was that we were going to wait another 8 years and the Fantastic Four would have been home, because they couldn't make their own movie, because part of the contract, the original contract, was that the movie had to be distributed worldwide. It couldn't be like some little, oh, come, I made a movie in my hometown, and we're going to watch it in the basement. Right. That doesn't count. The movie had to be distributed worldwide, and that's where Fox came in.
Right.
So
they were just distributing it.
Right. So with no one to distribute a new Fantastic Four film, and trust me, no one would have if they made it, because, no one's going to go against Disney at this point. They had to play ball, and they did. So the Fantastic Four are coming home. The X-Men are coming home. The Avengers, the X-Men, the Fantastic Four, Spider-Man, Deadpool, Doctor Doom, Galactus, Silver Surfer. Not to mention Avatar, The Simpsons, Aliens, Predator, Die Hard. I'm probably forgetting so many.
Yeah. Right.
And, the other thing is, people think that Fox Studios is all of a sudden now it's gone, and everything's going to be done under Disney. But it's not the case. No, Fox Studios is simply going to be parented by Disney now. They're not going anywhere. They're still going to make movies. They're still going to be rated R movies.
They're afraid that they won't be rated R.
Right, but that's not the case. It was never the case.
Yeah.
Disney is not going to throw away money by trying to, dumb down Deadpool. Deadpool made over $300 million in the home box office, not counting global. Global was like 700 something. I don't know the numbers. Point is, they're not stupid, clearly. They're not going to throw away money. And now it has been officially stated, Deadpool will still be rated R.
I will hope so.
And here's something new for you. Disney is actually planning, here's your first bomb from the shadow. Disney is actually planning a entire spread of rated R movies under the Marvel Knights banner.
Oh.
Yes. So, we originally told you, I don't know how long ago. Yes, Hulu. They're getting pieces of Hulu and everything.
Well, Marvel Knights like Daredevil,
Punisher, all of the darker stuff. Remember how the comics were? Now, we told you that the Spirits of Vengeance were coming. We already knew Moon Knight was, being talked about for a series. Yeah. We saw Ghost Rider show up. We saw Johnny Blaze make a cameo in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. There's all sorts of talk about, bringing Cloak and Dagger into the fold and everything. That's coming at some point. Now, originally, this was going to make its way to Netflix. Not the case anymore. Spirits of Vengeance now is being considered for a movie option. This way they can bring Wolverine, Ghost Rider, Moon Knight, and the Punisher all with the Netflix actors and the TV actors all together. Because, frankly, a TV actor would love to make a movie, and you don't have to pay him a lot. They're just, seriously, they're just happy to do it. You have to pay Chris Evans or Samuel L. Jackson or RDJ an exorbitant amount of money to appear on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah.
But to go reversed?
Yeah.
Here's $20. You want to do this? Yeah, let's go. Is there going to be pizza in the dressing room? All right, I'm in.
We're talking about yourself now.
Yeah, totally. So,
if they could do Moon Knight, Ghost Rider, get the point.
How insane is that going to be? It truly is a good time to be a nerd, and we told you guys, Johnny Blaze get Nicolas Cage. No. Unacceptable. Yes, David, I really hope Danny Ketch shows up. Danny Ketch was the Ghost Rider we grew up with.
Yeah.
So, all right. So, maybe 2 weeks ago, I think it was, we told you that the filming for Avengers 4, which so far has no title, but, I mean, how hard is it to conceive of, I don't know if y'all can see that, it's crude, Avengers 4. Get it? See what I did there? That's for you, big guy.
Now, you think they would have been in the Infinity Gauntlet story? Had they been already...
I think had the deal already somehow gone through, it would have, but awesome instead, it's all going to happen at the end, because filming's going on right now, and they're almost done. They're ready to wrap.
Right.
Not anymore. So the filming for the end of Avengers 4 has been delayed indefinitely. Mostly because we're going to have to do some casting, we're going to have to get some actors in, and here's the way I heard it originally. The end of the movie... Now, we heard this ages ago. Like, there was video proof somewhere under the Pete's Basement Library, and you guys who have been with us for so long, you'll recognize when I say this. The war for the Infinity Gems is going to put the Earth on the Silver Surfer's radar.
Mm-hmm.
And that is going to bring in Galactus and the Fantastic Four. We've also heard that the Skrulls will make an appearance at the end of Avengers 4, which they are first appearing in Captain Marvel. They're also supposed to be the villains in X-Men Dark Phoenix. So that was already planned.
Really?
And somehow, hey, what? Oh, no, the deal's dead. The deal's dead from weeks ago. Yeah, sure it was.
They're the villains in Dark Phoenix?
Yeah, I don't understand how that's going to work either. All right. Now for a little bit of controversy. I am of the opinion, I think they should recast Hugh Jackman.
Well, they have.
I know he is literally the perfect Wolverine, but if they plan to do 10 to 20 years worth of movies, they have to.
No, but
He can't be Old Man Logan in the movies.
But now he can really be old.
Yeah.
But if they recast him, they gotta recast the diminutive guy.
What's her name? Oh,
What's
wait.
her name?
Wait, who? What?
Smaller man. They gotta cast someone who's actually the height of Wolverine.
Oh!
It's been a bone of contention for 20
God,
years.
I thought you wanted a midget as Wolverine. I didn't know what you meant, dude.
Midgetus?
Yes.
It's a midgetous?
One of Steve's biggest problems with the Hugh Jackman casting in the first place.
Ironically, the biggest problem was the smallest problem.
The biggest problem was the smallest problem. You are correct. Hugh Jackman's like what, 6'2" or something?
Yeah.
And Wolverine is shorter than me.
5'3", right?
Yeah, Wolverine's about 5'2", 5'3". There was another guy who was going to be Wolverine before Hugh Jackman. Interesting. I love Hugh to bits, but I think he's done after Logan.
And you know what? That guy came up short.
He came up short. I don't know who they're going to get. I was really happy with the idea of Tom Hardy, but now he's Venom.
Tom Hardy's too tall, too.
I'm sorry, Steve. I'll do it. Fine.
I'll do it.
I'll get all jacked and diesel. They can give me hair implants for my chest and everything.
Hair implant?
Yeah. I don't got nothing, man. I'm like a weird Italian. It's only here and on my underneath my knees
Easy,
down.
easy.
Knees down. He did say in an interview that he was done. I also heard that he was game if, the MCU actually came back, if the X-Men came back to the MCU, but it is what it is, and I honestly think that we could get you some HGH. Jason, if I could afford it, I would do it in a heartbeat.
HGH to get
Yeah,
the
it's like super steroids.
Oh.
I'm telling you right now. I said this a couple of weeks ago. Simply put, I'm not doing competitive sports. So I don't see a problem with doing steroids. Okay.
No MMA?
Yeah, I'm not now. If you're doing competitive sports, you shouldn't do it. Period. Either everybody does it or nobody does it because it has to even the playing field. But if you're just doing it to get big, to look at yourself in the mirror and enjoy what you see, more power to you. Do what you want. All right. So,
Robert Partita said, would it be nice to see some more of the Hulk's villains? Maybe
for real, like, whatever happened to the leader, for God's sakes? We set that up and never did nothing with it. I would like to see that, but truth be told, before we see the leader, I would love to see a Hulk versus Juggernaut.
Oh. Yeah. When's the last time we saw Juggernaut?
I don't
X-Men
even
2?
know.
He was in X-Men 3.
Yeah. On the Juggernaut, bitch! And I love Vinnie Jones. I love Vinnie
But
Jones.
he bumped into the wall.
He should never have been Juggernaut. He could have been Juggernaut if they did it right.
Did he say I'm Juggernaut, bitch?
I'm the Juggernaut, bitch! Yes, he did. I'm sorry, but he said that. And you're right. Then the guy who is known for, like, basically running into things...
Kitty Pryde, phased through the wall. Something, he ran through the wall.
The kid nullified powers.
Oh, yeah.
The kid whose room he was in nullified powers.
Right, so once
and
he
then
was in the
Kitty
wall.
phased him out of the way, and Juggernaut ran into the wall.
Right, and he was out cold.
Yeah. So that was it. They finally did Colossus right. Yes, Jason, they damn well did. And our boy Stefan Kapicic, who you can see our interview with him back when Deadpool came out, he is awesome as the voice of Colossus, and I look forward to many, many more movies that he could be in.
He's an underrated character.
He's awesome. You always liked Colossus. You did.
Yeah.
And Deadpool was a phenomenal movie. But now, let's look at this. We have the option of Deadpool and Spider-Man, the ultimate team up.
Yeah.
Here's what happens. Let me paint a picture for you for a minute.
Bring that whiskey over there.
Hit me up too while you're at it. So, Deadpool teams up with Spider-Man. Pick any one of the stories from the comics that they're doing their team up. Deadpool idolizes Spider-Man, not in the same way he does Captain America, but he thinks Spidey's cool and he wants to chill with him. Spidey's like how I look at The Rock, like I just want to hang out with him, just do things that he does with him.
The Rock?
Yeah, The Rock is awesome.
Oh, I mean Dwayne Johnson.
Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Okay, just making sure.
Yeah. So, Deadpool's hanging out, and he's like, Vegetable Tube says, how much is Sony worth? Don't even sneeze at that, man. I'm not saying it's not a possibility. I'm not saying it is. But I'm definitely saying it's not out of the realm.
I don't know what you're saying, actually.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I've been drinking, Steve. I was very happy with this, so I started drinking when I came home after dinner. At least I've eaten.
Yesterday?
So anyway, Deadpool and Spider-Man, he meets him, he's like, oh man, we got to team up. Spider's like, nah, dude, I don't want. Finally, he convinces him. They pass over that dialogue. Deadpool's like, I don't know about you, but this is fucking great. Spidey's like, you can't say that. This is a kid's movie. And from then on, no more fourth wall breaks, no more cursing.
But it has to be a 30-year-old Spidey. It can't be current Spider.
No, I think it would be pretty awesome if it. And what if he actually finds out you're just a kid?
Okay.
They could work that in.
Yeah.
No pun intended. None at all.
We'll move on.
Yeah, we're gonna go on from that.
Move on, yeah.
A Deadpool Spider-Man team up. We actually might have mentioned that a ways back.
Long time ago.
They wanted it to be called Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends, and they were gonna bring in like Deadpool, Iceman, and Firestar, all four of them together. Disney needs to buy DC. Let me tell you right now. I don't know all the gory details because I'm not a businessman or anything, but I do know that DC is owned by Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers is owned by AT&T, and AT&T wants CNN. And for whatever reason, details I'm not sure of, the Trump administration is trying to block that under the grounds that it's a monopoly. Yes, I understand the irony of that statement compared to why we're doing this video. Let's leave that alone. Anyway, they desperately want CNN for some reason or another, but the fact that they own Warner Brothers is blocking that. So they have to let Warner Brothers go if they want CNN, and they think that CNN can make them more money or something. I'm not totally sure, but either way, from what I've heard and read and desperately tried to remember, they would have to let Warner Brothers go. And if that happens, that puts them right in Disney's crosshairs. Could you just imagine if Disney owned DC as well, Warner Brothers? And that's a monopoly. That's a fucking monopoly.
It'd be insane.
But
Yeah.
you'd have the Avengers with the Justice League like that. Batman versus Captain America,
They could do that
Superman
too.
versus
DC
the Hulk,
versus Marvel.
Thor versus Wonder Woman,
Yeah.
Thor hooking up with Wonder Woman, whatever. Steve Trevor who?
Yeah.
Anyway,
Well, if CNN...
that's far down the road.
So AT&T is trying to acquire CNN.
It's all on the interwebs.
And if they buy it ASAP, if they don't, they'll be SOL.
Pretty much. Bugs Bunny versus Darkseid. That should have happened a long time ago.
They should just have Darkseid obliterate.
So, let's go down the list of all of the other stuff that the Shadow has been kind enough to tell me could possibly happen. Now, mind you, all of these projects listed are subject to change as Kevin Feige and Marvel Studios, spit and polish
Hash
them.
it out, yeah.
We've got Nova, which is in development at Marvel Studios for 2 years. The film will feature Richard Rider as the Human Rocket. The tone will be inspired by The Last Starfighter, the 80s science fiction classic. You should see that.
They're not going to call it the Human Rocket, are they?
No. Hopefully they'll just nickname him that. You know how they throw around nicknames in the MCU?
It's going to be called Nova.
Yeah. Currently, the plan is to introduce the Silver Surfer in the post-credits, as Nova will plant the seeds for Annihilation. Fantastic. Yes, we actually knew that Marvel was planning to go cosmic for Phase 4, and everything was going to kind of split, spacefaring heroes and earthbound heroes. Weapon X. There are 2 ways that Marvel Studios feel they can approach this. Rebooting Wolverine from the start in the MCU, or having it take place after Logan, wherein Wolverine's body is dug up from the grave and resurrected in the MCU by Department H, which will be headed by Alpha Flight. I personally think that something should happen, and I can't write this. I can't figure out how they could get the X-Men into the MCU unless they do some sort of interdimensional thing. You know?
Why?
I don't know. I'm having a hard time. Like, the X-Men have too much rich history to just start them. Like, let's say, I don't know, a gem explodes and all of a sudden there's mutants in the world. Like, that doesn't work for me.
Me neither.
So I can't, for the life of me, extrapolate how they could get the X-Men in. But that's why I'm not being paid to write these movies. So I'm going to trust that they could figure it out. I would probably... Yep, Cosmic Cube will work, Jason. I would probably rather they start Wolverine from the beginning than... Or, you can have X-Men, the mutants be so super secretive that only Nick Fury knew about them. You know, only the top super spies and government officials knew that they existed.
Right.
You know, something like that. Or rumors abounded or whatever.
Justin Thomas said, how does this affect the Channing Tatum Gambit?
Let's hope it never, ever sees the light of day. And I like Channing Tatum. Don't get me wrong. I have liked Channing Tatum since 21 Jump Street.
But I don't like Gambit.
Any dude...
I know you like Gambit.
I do like Gambit. I don't like Channing Tatum as Gambit, even though I'm pretty confident he could pull off the accent because he's from like Louisiana. He spent time there. I don't see it. You know, you want to talk about a guy that's too big? He's too big to be Gambit. Gambit's supposed to be like a slender dude.
Yeah, right.
I actually liked the guy who they got in, that awful Wolverine movie, the dude from John Carter, whose name I can't think of.
Oh, yeah, I can think of it either.
I don't know if it was like...
Would Gambit be its own thing? No, it would be just...
They wanted to do it because that would, there's a lot of women that love Gambit, so they would bring that in.
Because of the accent?
Taylor Kitsch, thank you, Absolute. I missed that comment before that, sorry. Captain America and Wolverine, which I think is an awesome idea. A team-up film featuring Steve Rogers and Logan in World War II. Now, that obviously means if they did that, they couldn't just reboot Wolverine from the start. He would have had to have been there, and maybe he doesn't know he's a mutant, or they don't know what mutants are. Remember, there was a good 7 to 10 years where they really never intersect other than Rogue Carol Danvers.
He would have had to know he was a mutant by the 1940s. He already would have been, 50 years old?
No, Wolverine knew, but, Steve Rogers doesn't know what a mutant is.
Oh, I see.
He just figures he's got powers kind of like he does, you know?
Yeah, actually, yeah.
Yeah.
Super soldiers, yeah.
So, here's a cool one. Doom Quest from the Iron Man comics, issues like around issue 150 or so. Iron Man versus Doctor Doom with the real Mandarin caught in the middle. It's about that. Speaking of villains that we never saw anything else of.
Yeah.
Like, if you had one, I forget which DVD it was on, but if you watch the extras, there was a little bit about Trevor being in prison. What was his name? Sir.
Oh, you talking about the actor?
Yeah, who's the actor that played him?
Play Gandhi? You talking about?
Yeah. Can't think of his name.
I'll think of it.
Well, anyway, he's in prison, and he gets accosted by these guys who's like, you used his name. He's not happy with you.
Right.
He wants to meet you. And he's like, oh, me?
Yeah.
So they lead him off. I saw something about Peggy Carter being a Disney princess now. I'm not sure about that, but you know who are Disney princesses? Each and every one of the xenomorph aliens. Contest me. Alien Brood Queen. Aliens. Disney princesses. Humph. Humph. The Avengers versus the X-Men. You knew it was going to happen.
But you'd have to have the X-Men out for a while. You can't just...
Yeah, you can't just blink that in.
Yeah.
The Avengers versus the X-Men, led by Magneto, attacking Earth's mightiest heroes. I don't know about the X-Men led by Magneto. I don't know if I like that idea. The Brotherhood of Evil Mutants, and then the X-Men come in, and the Avengers mistakenly think they're also evil, attack them.
They're also mutants, yeah.
I got the plot for that, by the way. Let me start this one off, and I think you will appreciate this. Remember the X-Men cartoon back in the 90s?
Yeah.
Okay. The close of, the penultimate chapter for season 1, right? President Kelly gets kidnapped.
Right.
So, President gets kidnapped. You bring in Iron Man, Captain America, a couple of the Avengers, the big guys, the head honchos. Maybe not Hulk because they're in the White House.
Thor?
You know? Yeah, sure. We're bringing Thor. Maybe even Spidey.
Yeah.
All of a sudden they walk in.
Not the Hulk.
They're like, oh, man, president's been kidnapped. And suddenly Iron Man's in the doorway. And Cap turns around and he's like, Tony, what's the matter? I can't move. My arm is locked up. I can't move. And suddenly from out of the big ass like hole in the White House, Magneto just rises up.
Yeah, I know. It's just that's perfect, Pete.
Yeah, I know. Come on. And I think he can control vibranium as well.
Why wouldn't he be able?
I think he can. So if Cap throws his shield at him, he's just like,
I don't see why.
Throw it away.
It's a form of metal, isn't it?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure he can. I am a huge Magneto fan, guys. So in case you hadn't realized that, I kind of want Magneto to kick all their asses first.
Every
like,
time.
I mean, Peter's got the web shooters. He would just clink. What are you gonna do?
Everything
what are you doing?
would be a problem. Yeah.
And to answer this question, because I know you're gonna ask, no, Magneto cannot lift Thor's hammer with his power, even though it's made of Uru metal because of the enchantment. However,
Magic, yeah.
no, also he can't, if it's on like a metal grate on the floor, he can't lift the grate and expect that to happen. But, which kind of is a little stupid because the Red Hulk lifted the ground underneath
Yeah, he
it.
can lift the grate.
Yeah, but it'll fold around the hammer.
Right.
But the Red Hulk lifted the whole like chunk of Earth. So I guess there's a limit for the downward force. I don't know. Depends on the writer.
The Red Hulk is...
I know. Anyway, but Magneto can turn the hammer. If it's using electromagnetism, he can divert the hammer's course.
Lift it.
Right.
Okay.
Just can't lift it.
If it's already in motion.
Which will also, I think, as the movie progresses, give Tony a chance to build like a plastic armor to combat Magneto, which is what he would do.
Yeah,
But yeah, I just want to see that one scene in the cartoon recreated. Remember when Professor X comes in and they're like, "Oh, the president's kidnapped," and he's like, "They thought it was the Brotherhood," and he's like, "I don't think it's them. My watch stopped." Cyclops like, "I don't understand, Professor. What does that mean?" And he's like, "Because it's been magnetized." I'm like, and I'm watching that shit like, oh!
You think about the cartoon?
Yeah.
Okay.
I called my boy Matthew Gates immediately. I was like, "Did you see it?" Like with two little girls watching Gossip Girl. So I was like, "Did you see what happened on X-Men?"
What he said.
We're really, really excited about this one. Doctor Strange, Triumph and Torment. One of my absolute all-time favorite stories.
You have it up there? Triumph and Torment?
Triumph and Torment is towards the end, after Akuma.
I see it.
Uh-huh. Triumph and Torment, Doctor Strange goes to hell with Doctor Doom to rescue his mother's soul from Mephisto. So, a lot of people may not notice, but along with being a master tactician and brilliant scientist, Doctor Doom is also the second in line for Sorcerer Supreme.
Right.
He and Doctor Strange went head to head for
became Sorcerer Supreme.
At some point he did, as a matter of fact. But it was way later on. It was like fairly new books. Way new
20
books.
years later. Yeah.
But, so, when Doctor Strange became the Sorcerer Supreme, you have to grant a boon or a favor to the runner-up. And that was Doctor Doom.
Right.
Guys, this book has recently been reprinted in like a soft cover for, I don't know, $10. You probably get the thing on Amazon. Go out and get it. Triumph and Torment is one of the best books you'll ever read.
Yeah.
It is truly one of the best Doctor Doom stories ever. Because it's not a Doctor Strange story. It's a Doctor Doom story.
No, it's more of that Doom story.
It's so good. Annihilation will be the next cosmic epic after Infinity War. So where we already know that the Guardians of the Galaxy are not going to, they're not going to still be a team after this movie. They're going to get split up. Maybe we'll see Sylvester Stallone's team, the original crew from Guardians, being, thrown in there, and who's going cosmic, who's possibly going to stay on Earth. I personally would buy 17 tickets to a Rocket Raccoon. What? That's why they're going to bring in Nova. Okay. Would you see a Groot Rocket buddy comedy?
Yeah, why not?
In a heartbeat. Absolutely. I saw your question, and I will answer that in a moment.
What about Illuminati? Because what is it? It's Black Bolt?
Black Bolt, Professor X, Iron Man, Black Panther, did we say?
Black Panther.
Namor.
And Namor.
Namor needs to show up.
And Namor.
Where the hell's Namor? And Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange.
It was 6 members for each of the Infinity Stones.
Yes. That's something that they can work with.
X-Men Inferno, an adaptation of the Marvel Comics story arc Demons Invade New York, and Doctor Strange collaborates with the X-Men. And finally, the Fantastic Four, The Coming of Galactus. Enough said. I just want Galactus done right. It's all I care about. From what I've heard, also, remember in the end of Homecoming, somebody bought Avengers Tower. We don't know who.
Yeah, right.
That was intentionally left open. And I think we told you guys this as well. They weren't sure what was going to go on with the Fox deal. This is before the Fox deal was public. Mind you, we told you about this. Was it going to be Reed Richards for the Baxter Building, or was it going to be Norman Osborn and make it Oscorp? And I'm pretty sure it was going to be whichever way the Fox deal went was how that deal was going to go. If the Fox deal went south, it was going to be Norman Osborn. Now that the Fox deal is done,
Right.
that's going to be the Baxter Building, which I think is an awesome idea. And from what I'm also led to understand, Reed Richards, the other high top bidder for the building, was Doctor Doom.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Did we say Reed Richards in Illuminati? He was part
Reed was part of it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know if we mentioned him.
Okay.
But yes, he's also part of the Illuminati. I think if they do an Illuminati movie, that's going to have to be way down the road.
Yeah,
I don't want to see something like that until like 2025.
You got to bring in Fantastic Four, establish
Right.
them.
That's got to be a whole other setup.
Submariner. You got to establish. You can't,
Right.
He's not in anything.
No.
Yeah.
And who would you get to play Namor? Who's got that kind of droll, like one expression kind of face?
Well, the guy who played
Keanu Reeves.
CSI.
Who?
He has a draw one face, but
Who's that? Christopher Maloney?
no. What's the other guy's name? The
I
guy
don't
with the sunglasses.
Oh God, no, 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 no,
But he's the only guy with a draw.
no! Fuck him, no!
I'm joking. Clearly, he can't play.
Something Caruso, David Caruso, some shit like that.
can't play-
He should never be allowed in film. He shouldn't even be allowed behind the camera. I'm lucky if I'll let him sweep a theater.
He shouldn't be near the camera.
And he's not
around
allowed
the
to see any
camera.
movies ever anymore. Not allowed to watch TV, read a book. Fuck him. Thor NYC said Ramon looks like Namor. Yes. Yes, you haven't lived until you've seen Ramon in a green Speedo with little white wings on his feet.
I'm done.
So, we got asked, who do we want to see die in Infinity War?
Ay. What is this thing? What, who you want to see? What?
Who do we want to see die in Infinity War?
Die.
I'm looking at you, Steve.
Ah,
I want an answer. I want an answer.
I'm not telling you.
First and foremost, Vision's got to die. I'm sorry. I like Paul Bettany. I like him a lot. But he's an expendable character. He's got a gem in his head.
Yeah, but he was only in 2 movies. This will be the second movie.
It is what it is. He's got to die. He can be rebuilt. They can rebuild him better, stronger, faster, etc.
6,000.
But for now, it's got to go. I do not want to see Robert Downey Jr. die. I want Robert Downey Jr. doing these movies until he's 80.
The actor or the Iron Man?
I think Iron Man. I don't think he actually wants RDJ to die.
No, I don't know.
Bucky will die again. I don't think so.
No.
I think Cap will die and Bucky will take over. Or Falcon will take over. Or both will take over.
Are they gonna actually do a full-fledged Winter Soldier with Bucky?
He's in this movie, I'm sure. I wouldn't mind seeing a Bucky, backflash movie,
what I'm saying,
flashback
yeah.
movie.
Backflash.
That'd be, backflash, whatever.
Was that the movie with Robert De Niro?
I do want to see Bucky as Cap. I think, unfortunately, Cap is going to die.
Yeah.
I do. Yeah. I would love to see... here's an interesting one. We've heard the theory that it's Hulk in the Hulkbuster armor because of a scene where Bruce Banner is standing next to that big-ass red gauntlet that looks like it came from the Hulkbuster. And if you look at the way it lands, it's kind of, very hulky, Hulk type of walk.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't have control over the thing. It's like a brute landing, So that could be the Hulk. What if, here's another thing, that scene where Thanos punches the shit out of Iron Man, breaks it. You could actually see a piece of the helmet fly off. If you look at the way, they land, it's just very... What if that's not Tony?
Oh.
What if that's Pepper in the armor, in the rescue armor? Because Gwyneth Paltrow has already kind of expressed her disdain for these movies and having to keep coming back. So let's just kill her. Let's wipe that slate clean.
Could be. Yeah. Would that be satisfying, though?
Yes. I think giving her a hero's death...
That's not a throwaway death.
I think if you do it that way, like she doesn't just
she's
blow
being-
up in a
being
building.
heroic.
Yeah. And plus, she gets to go out cool and mercilessly. Because Thanos is going to kill her.
Yeah.
Thanos is going to step on her head when he's done.
Merciless.
And I would love to see Pepper go too. And like, there's a scene where Tony's like holding a hand like this. Like, you think it might be his hand, but what if it's just, somebody else's hand that he's holding, like a dead hand? Could be Cap, could be, blah, 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 blah. Pepper, could be a lot of people.
We just said Pepper.
Yeah. So there's, who else would I like to see die? Let's not kill Scarlet Witch. That's for sure. She's entirely too adorable to not have in future movies. We're not going to kill Black Panther, obviously.
How can we?
Because Black Panther 2 is already being prepared to introduce Storm. Yes.
Well, that makes sense.
Storm.
That makes sense.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I heard something about the twins in part 2. You think they might kill Black Widow? I don't know, man. Boobs drive movies, and she's got them in spades.
No, they're gonna come back.
I'll drink to that any
Maybe
day.
it'll be ambiguous whether she's dead. But we're talking about a full, not comic book dead. We're talking about someone who actually does.
I mean, this is the movie, so dead is probably dead.
Well, okay.
I think they might just kill Nick Fury. Because, he's doing the flashback in Captain Marvel.
He's been a lot. Yeah.
But I don't see him going forward with these.
Mm-hmm.
I think Samuel L. Jackson's just about run his course with these movies. He may, maybe he's still having fun with them. I don't know. But I'm just speculating. Maybe it's him.
And he's been in quite a bit. It's not like he's a fresh
guy. Who else? I don't want to see the Hulk go. I think Mark Ruffalo is fantastic.
No, we can't.
Do you think we can get an A-Force movie or even an animated? First of all, on that note, Greg, Marvel definitely now especially needs to step up their game with the animated movies, because say what you want about DC's live action, their animated movies kill it every single time. Almost every single time. And, Marvel could do a lot by introducing a lot of their, animated characters in their animated stuff. Look what they're doing with Spider-Verse. That looks friggin' awesome. Everybody watch the trailer for that?
Christian de Guzman said Nick Fury will die.
I think so. I do.
Vinny Votto asked who's going to play Storm.
No idea. No idea. Angela Bassett's already in the Black Panther movies, so that was been my first choice. Yeah. Certainly not Halle Berry. God, no. The other girl from Walking Dead is already cast as one of the Diora Mayale, and I know I'm saying that wrong, and I'm sorry.
Gesundheit.
Thank you. So she would have been a good choice.
Christian said Coulson will die again.
I just want Coulson in the movie for 5 seconds and let Tony and Cap know he's alive. That's all I ask for. I don't want much. Just be like, hey. That's all. Hey. That's it. Shit.
Hayes for horses.
So, just, let's think outside the box for a second here. Could you imagine a story where the Guardians of the Galaxy are flying through space and they suddenly get attacked by a bunch of xenomorphs? Or a predator? What if a predator is hunting Groot or Rocket for being the last and only one of their kind? How dope would that be? That can all happen now.
That's like thinking outside the box but pressing right up against it.
Yes. Yeah. This is going to be such a fantastic thing. The future is a very bright place for the MCU. We've got plans. Kevin Feige even said he's got plans for 10, 20 years down the road. So it's a good time to be a geek, man. I'm not trying to rush the years as they go by, but I definitely want to see what happens at the end of Avengers 4. I want to see some cameos happen immediately. Write someone into Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Do what you got to do. Right. Make another scene for Black Panther. Give us a third end credit scene and introduce somebody. I don't care who. Yeah. You could do it. You've got, what is it? It's the middle of December and Black Panther comes out in February. Okay. So you've got a month and a half, almost collectively 2 months to do this. You could do it. Get on that.
Besides Namor, is there anyone else that just is not in there at all that needs to be represented in some way? That's
a good question. We already talked about Nova. I would like to see Greg Rucka's Punisher Warzone happen. Awkward person, you are absolutely right. David Peralta said he wants to see a team up between Punisher and Wolverine. I think that I would like to see that scene where Punisher kicks him in the balls and blows his face off, and then Wolverine's just a skeleton fighting. And a really angry skeleton, for that matter. Anybody that's not been in yet. I would like to see, you're going to not like me for this, but I'd like to see General Thunderbolt Ross become the Red Hulk.
Yeah, no good. No beyond.
And then if he doesn't want to do the movies anymore, we could write him out afterward. Yeah. I wouldn't mind seeing a Thunderbolts flick. We can get, like, we have Baron Zemo become Baron Zemo.
Oh, okay. I can go with Thunderbolts.
Like, there's some villains I'd like to see. Like, I want to see the Scorpion become more, of himself. I want to see the armor and everything. I would like to see the Sinister Six.
Well, I was just going to say Doc Ock and...
Doc Ock. What about X-Force? I think it would be a little bit down the road, but I don't see why it couldn't happen.
Cable.
Warpath, Cable. No, Cable wasn't in that. I'm talking about this X. I'm sorry. And I think he meant the Wolverine X-Force.
Oh, okay.
That was done by Clayton Crane.
Yeah.
And it was X-23, Wolverine, Archangel.
The newest one, yeah.
Yeah, Warpath. That was a dope series.
Story,
Shit, man, that was good. God, that was like an R-rated X-Men. Not even being...
they can bring out.
They need to...
She'd be hot.
I mean, I love the little girl. Yeah. She did a great job in the movie. But if you want to bring more people, you gotta recast that.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I think all the X-Men need to be recast because otherwise it's going to confuse the layman who are just looking like, oh, but he was in the other movie. So wait, is this connected? What does this have to... Then if it's not connected, why is he there? But he's the same guy.
Same thing with Fantastic Four, they could do fresh.
We could definitely get rid of Jennifer Lawrence. She's hot as shit, but get rid of her. I'm done watching her as Mystique.
Yeah.
The really unfortunate thing is I liked, what's his name? McAvoy as Professor X. Yeah. And I absolutely loved Michael Fassbender as Magneto. Yeah. That man is born to be Magneto.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know.
They could just switch.
Rip a hole in space and time and bring them in from another dimension. It solves the recasting problem.
It does. Like a wormhole?
Yeah.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Doesn't solve that Wolverine problem unless you go to a totally different dimension. It's a bitch.
Yeah.
It's a lot of dimension hopping. Ramon's already got a headache. He ain't even here.
He hates dimension.
Does hate it.
He hates time travel, yeah.
Keep those two. Keep Quicksilver too. Not for nothing. I like what the kid from American Horror Story, whose name always escapes me. He was great in that. You watch American Horror Story?
No, but I know what you're talking about.
Anybody out there watch American Horror Story? I'm a little behind. I haven't seen any this season. I just finished Hotel, for God's sakes, but I do enjoy the show.
I mean, you watched it at a hotel?
No. The title of the series is called Hotel.
What is it?
James Patrick Marks.
Can I ask what it's about and guess?
It's about like vampires and ghosts and shit running around a hotel.
The same hotel?
Same hotel.
Do they charge vampires less? For
Evan Peters, thank you. I got bored with it after Coven. If they do X-Force movie or TV series, they should do Sex and Violence was a great story. Wolverine and Domino.
Wolverine and Domino.
Domino, I think, was in the X-Force 2, as a matter of fact.
She was.
Yeah.
That was a good story. Yeah. Who wrote Sex and Violence? I forget.
I don't remember.
Like
Who wrote Sex and Violence? Do you think Michael Fassbender would make a good Doom? I think Michael Fassbender would make a good pretty much anything he does.
Who's Michael Fassbender? I'm trying to think of who he's from.
Magneto.
Oh.
But he's already big Magneto, so I don't, Honest to God, I don't remember who the actor was, but going back to that whole shitty Fantastic Four movie that the only good thing was Michael Chiklis and Chris Evans, I thought Julian McMahon, there we go, he didn't do a bad Victor Von Doom.
Yeah.
He was a good Victor Von Doom. He sucked
written,
once he got to Doctor Doom, and he didn't talk about himself in third person.
You have to talk in the third person.
You have to. I know it's cheesy, but he has to do it.
It's not his fault, it's the writing.
It is. Yeah. And they needed to do something with his voice when he was under the mask. They needed to echo it.
It's the same voice.
Right.
Yeah, it's no good.
And the idea that he turned to metal was absolute shit.
Yeah.
Stupid. Don't mind if I do. So, I think that about covers us. If there's anything else, I might do a little special report. At the end after I've done editing. What's up, Greg? Loophole. You just saying random words again? You're making my head hurt, man.
So just to round it out, Casper Formati, Christian de Guzman, Justin Thomas. These are just people who've been Santos Caballero, Maki McQuarian. Am I saying your name? I hope properly.
By the way, what are you drinking tonight,
Daniel
Pete?
Blank, Richard
There needs
Owens.
to be a Human Torch joke with all the previous guys that played him and the
James
new
Marsden.
guy. Yes, Red Lantern, there needs to be a Human Torch joke. Kate, this is a Glenlivet 15-year French Oak Reserve. I broke out the good stuff for this episode.
Edward Reyes said Doctor Strange could bring the mutants in.
Doctor Strange could bring the mutants in, and that's probably the way we're going to do it. Probably the way we're going to do it. Well, guys, that about does it.
Spider-Verse trailer?
Good choice? Yes, very good choice. Go out there and get yourself some. For the price, it's absolutely worth it. It's my absolute favorite whiskey.
Oh, what is it?
Glenlivet 15 year.
Oh.
No, Jack Hole, I'm saying that the X-Men Blackbird was in Iron Man.
What?
Was it? I vaguely remember that.
But it was like
Vaguely.
It wasn't a big thing.
On the schematics. Ah, the very first. Okay, I'm going to go back and watch the first Iron Man. I own it. I'm going to go look. Well, guys, thanks for tuning in. Once again, hit us up, questions@peachbasement.com, facebook.com/peachbasement, Instagram, Twitter, everywhere else at Peach Basement. Make sure you subscribe to not only the Peach Basement YouTube channel, but the Extras channel as well. We post all sorts of interesting nonsense on there. Various comic book reviews, like when stuff ends, we'll usually go on Pete's Basement Extras and things like that, or Kickstarter interviews that aren't in the regular episodes. There's a lot of good stuff on there. So make sure you do that, and if you can find it in your heart, like the video and throw a comment on it, because the more of you that do that, even if you watch the video for like 7.5 seconds, it counts. And that drives up popularity, and that drives more people to the Basement Show, and that in turn gives us more people to yell at us and tell us we're stupid and crazy for ideas like 2015 when we said Fox and Marvel are working on a deal. You idiots. So thanks to everybody that always stuck with us. Thanks to everybody who was with us from the very beginning, and thanks to everybody who never doubted us, even when we doubted ourselves sometimes. Guys, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Festivus for the rest of us.
Tinsel, I
And
always
we will
found
see you guys. What?
I always found tinsel.
I hate tinsel. I'm a Garland kind of guy.
Like Judy?
I love Judy Garland. Love her. We'll see you guys in
Bob.
2018.
See you later, Bob.
Salud.
Salud.
Peach Basement is copyrighted 2017, Ripped Productions. All rights reserved, so go fuck yourself.